what I want to do is, first and foremost, I just want to thank each and every one of you for giving up your scarcest resource in the world, which is time to be here today. What I can promise you in return is this, is that you will walk away with some real clarity. You'll walk away with some really practical, helpful information to help you grow a successful online business. So why did we decide to put this summit together? Last Friday, I decided that this would be the perfect event for everybody right now, because so many of us are in lockdown. So many of us have had our business taken away from us, and we need to adapt. And so I wanted to give you guys the skills, knowledge, and resources so you can best do so. And, you know, I've just been getting lots and lots of messages. Dylan, Jimmy, Brad, the other presenters have been as well, on how the hell do you go online? How do we navigate this period so we can still transform lives and make revenue? And that's what this event is about. You know, it really is about serving you guys, giving you the best possible knowledge, and you can walk away going really with some great confidence and some great clarity going, this is how I can either go online exclusively, or I can add online right now to my face-to-face business. So I just want to make it clear, if you're a face-to-face trainer, if you're an online trainer, if you're not currently in the industry, but you're looking to get into the industry, then this presentation will be absolutely perfect for you. So let's dive in, because we got a lot to cover in a really short amount of time. So I'm going to quickly talk about how the industry has changed. All right. And that's how I'm going to kick things off. I'm going to talk about how the consumer trends have changed and how you must change with those consumer trends. All right. So I won't be speaking for long. Then we're going to have the delivery model. So we're going to have Dylan Fowler talk all about what a great online product looks like and how it's much easier than what you actually think it is. All right. And so you'll be able to go online or add online very, very fast. We then have the great Jimmy Popiano on how to generate a shitload of leads. That's the technical marketing term, shitload of leads. All right. So he's going to be talking about that. Then we've got Brad, all right, Bedford, how to sell like a savage. And then I'm just going to wrap some things up at the end. All right, so just let us know in the chat, what are you most excited about in terms of this presentation? What excites you most about this presentation? I'd love to hear from you guys. Shit ton of learning, love that, all of it, delivery model, generating leads, how to go online, money and freedom, clarity, delivery model, and how it's all coming together. Beautiful. Business diversity, excellent. All right, let's dive in. I'm going to quickly talk about, just for about the next 13 minutes, on how this great industry of ours has changed. You know, see, I'm a dinosaur in this industry. I've been in it now about 15 years. And my business model at the time was pretty simple. I put a bunch of equipment in my car. I drove to a park. I opened up the boot and I delivered a session. And so, you know, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, there was primarily only one business model, and that was face-to-face. You know, that's how we delivered our coaching. That's how we transformed these lives. But the industry has evolved, and it's evolving rapidly. It's evolving so fast. There are now 3 business models. You have your face-to-face, but you also have fusion. What the hell is fusion? It is face-to-face and online. All right. So you may have online to complement your face-to-face delivery. You may have 2 separate revenue streams where you have face-to-face and you have online as well. And then you've just got online. And so now our business model has more options. And you guys should be excited about this, because it's evolving and it gives us the capacity and the opportunity to have greater impact. So let's go through trends, all right? I'm an educator at heart, so I'm going to quote some research and shows you how this industry is changing. Here's some really, like, these should hit home, these statistics. 76% of people that tried working out at home during the pandemic or lockdown, 66% of them prefer that. Now that they're not saying that they exclusively want to do that, but what they're saying is they love the flexibility. They love, the opportunity to not only train with you potentially in your facility, in your park, but also from their lounge room, all right? Also from their garage. People are busy and want to have more options and choice. Home-based training, we were all forced into it, all right? We were all we didn't have much choice in terms of our delivery model. And so what we did is we exposed a bunch of consumers to it and they like it. All right. So if you're thinking, all right, as soon as lockdown ends, I'm just going to go back and operate my gym exactly the way that I used to. Well, you're missing a big piece of the puzzle because people like this flexibility. They want the option of working out. That's what the research is telling us. That's not what I'm telling you. That's what the research is telling us. Here's a really key statistic. The digital fitness industry is growing 10 times faster than the traditional fitness industry. So if you want to operate your business like you did 18 months ago or 2 years ago, you're going to be left behind. That's the reality of the situation. And that's why we've put on this summit. We want no one here to be left behind. We want all of you to be ahead of the game. All right. It's one of the things I've really prided myself on in my career is that I'm always ahead of the game. My coaching clients are always ahead of the game. And that's what I want for you guys. Next, online training. When you look at the American College of Sports Medicine, online training is the #1 trend for 2021. All right. That's where everyone is shifting. And I said it already, people want flexibility, they want convenience. You have a look at some of the best models, some of the fastest growing models, not in the fitness industry, but just in the world. Have a look at Uber Eats, have a look at Uber, have a look at Amazon. What people want is they want convenience. Is your fitness solution convenient? Is it making it easy for them? 1 in 5 people, I really like this, all right? This was from McKinsey. 1 in 5 people who express an interest in personalized products were willing to pay a 20% premium. So Dills is going to be talking about, your product very, very soon, but people want to feel like they're just not another number. They want to feel like they're a name, not a number, and they're willing to pay to feel that, all right? Which is very, very important as well. So here's a really quick case study for you. Who's heard of Peloton? Just give me a hands up if you've heard of Peloton. If you haven't, you're about to, because it's in Australia now and it's about to take it, by storm. All right. So in 2018-19, they did 440 million in rev. All right. In 1920, I don't even have the 2021 stats yet, but in 1920, they did 1.83 billion. All right. It's probably close to double that right now based on the markets that they're now in. All right. This little picture here, can you see this mirror here? All right. This little picture here, this mirror, this is where you do home-based exercise. You've got a trainer in the mirror. They're giving you exercises to do. There's a whole bunch of biometrics down at the bottom and everything else. Lululemon bought that for $500 million. All right. They know that this is where the industry is going. So, and also on Peloton, they got shit ton of users, all right? Shit ton. All right, so one of the things I want you guys to do is see this as an opportunity, all right? I'm the most glass half full guy in the world, all right? And so a lot of people go, oh no, my business is not gonna be the same. My gym is not gonna have the same experience. I'm not gonna have as many members or anything else. No, no, no. These trends, these shifts offer one of the greatest opportunities in the world. And I want you guys to see that. So this is how. All right. #1 is we now have the opportunity, the capacity to serve more people. All right. That's exciting. I don't know about you, but I've got 100 people on here right now from all around the world. I get to serve more people because of technology. You used to have to come and see me at a live event in a hotel kind of corporate room. Now I get to serve 100 of you on a Friday afternoon. That excites me. You can improve your service offering, and we're going to really be talking about that. Your product can be greatly enhanced, and I'm going to go through that quickly. You can make a lot more money, all right? I don't know about you, but I like making money, all right? Call me a capitalist pig if you want, but I like making more money, all right? It should be a reflection of how many people I serve. And this is what it gives us, right? And lastly, we can have more freedom, which is absolutely vital. So we've got a crossroads, all right? You can continue to stay and doing things exactly the way you are, or you can be ahead of these changes. You can be absolutely at the forefront of them. You can embrace them. You can have more impact, more freedom, more money by making this change. Now, I'm not about, and the speakers here are not about delivering you a one-size-fits-all business model. I just don't believe it exists. You all have unique nuances, different avatars, different locations, and everything else. And so it's a customized approach. It's my job today to really produce some answers for you, to inspire you today, but it's not to say this is the only one and only way that you must run your business. That would not be fair of me. So what I want you to do today is I want you to be discerning. I want you to take, these incredible knowledge bombs that these fantastic presenters are delivering, and I want you to customize them so you can deliver them in your business. The model has to make financial sense. That's the only thing that matters. It must make financial sense. So I've got 5 minutes. Let me go through the 6 key ingredients of the new age business model. All right. Number 1, it has to have a live component. All right. Your business in the future must have a live component. This is your special sauce. All right. If people don't want a live component, they'll go and get an app like Center from Chris Hemsworth. They'll go and get Sweat from Kayla Esigns or whatever else it is, or they'll just go and watch shit on YouTube. All right. That's the reality of it. Okay. So it's got to have a live component, which is you. All right. Now that can be face-to-face, that can be online, that can be both, but it's an ingredient of a successful business in the future. All right. So that's the first key ingredient. The second is it's got to have an on-demand component. All right. So on demand, the consumer is far more mature than they used to be. And what I mean by that is the expectation of what they want from us is far greater. All right. So no longer is it enough for me just to have a client and make them sweat. All right. I'm going to fall short if that's all I'm doing. If I'm only getting their heart rate up and making them feel sore, making them walk like Frankenstein for a few days, then I've fallen short. Because right now the consumer, they don't want to just get fit and get strong, but they also want me to have a look at their nutrition. They want me to improve their posture. They want to be more mindful. They want to be more mobile. And I can't do all of that within a 30-minute session, 45-minute session. This is where the on-demand component comes. So you can build it out on simple things like YouTube libraries. You can put it in the units within your Facebook group, but you give them resources that they can access in between sessions. All right. Next, community. Whether it's online or face-to-face, you have to embrace community. And this has been one of the huge things that has come out of this pandemic and these lockdowns. People crave community. They want social interaction. They want connection. They want to be part of a community that has like-minded values. For many people, the fitness business, what we offer is their third space. It's where they spend the most amount of time, all right, outside of their own home and work. So they want community. They want personal connection, all right? They want personal connection, even with an online business model. It doesn't mean that you dilute yourself. You still might be doing personal videos, personal voice memos, personal text messages, personal phone calls, personal Zoom, personal handwritten notes in the mail. They still want personal connection. So important. They want accountability. All right. And accountability can happen in many different forms. It may be the live component of itself. It might be the challenge. It might be a MEPS component, but they want accountability. And then the last thing that they need is world-class programming. All right. That personalization element comes into the fold with this programming as well. Because if I just want to work out that, I get a sweat or I make my abs feel really sore, then I'll just go and grab it off YouTube. All right. So they want something more. They're more sophisticated than that. So these are the 6 key ingredients to a really wildly successful business in 2021 and beyond. And this is where online comes to the fore because it helps us fulfill these 6 magical ingredients. So there we have it. That is why online is important. That is why I've assembled this incredible crew of speakers. And that is why I've put on this amazing event, because I want each and every one of you to have these 6 components in your business moving forward. So we're going to have our next speaker step up to the plate. We have the great Dylan Fowler. Now, he's got an incredibly powerful story. He's going to be sharing how to build an online model, what that includes, and we're going to go from there.
Cool. How are we going, team? So here is a little bit about my story. And thanks very much, Dan, for introducing me. So my name's Dylan. Of all things, I am a Kiwi, and I used to be a former sheep shearer. So I'm about as cliche a Kiwi as you're going to get. But I've also been a coach for a very long time now, an actual person, probably about 10 years. I did my personal training certificates when I was 21. And so I've sort of been through it all. I'm a gym owner. I'm an old balls lifter, so I'm still trying to be strong and fit as I get older. I'm an online coach, and probably most importantly, I'm working on being a really good role model to my dad. And so this little photo here, there's a bit of a big background story to it, okay? And I'll get into it on here. This photo here was probably about 9 years ago, and it was roughly the last time I went sharing. And this was at a time where I'd been personal training probably for about 18 months, 2 years. And I thought, hey, look, it's time to go out and go out on my own and sort of get some equipment, maybe start a gym. And so what I did was I was like, hey, look, I want to go sharing, because I knew if I went sharing for 6 months, I could probably put away 20, 30 grand, and that would help me start my own gym. Problem with that is I was a little bit fragile, and about 4 weeks into this trip, my lower back just completely gave out on me. I couldn't walk, therefore I couldn't work. And so basically that was the end of my sharing career. And it was also a time where I had to go and transition to a heap of different things. And at that time, I couldn't go and make my gym at that time. So that was probably about 8 or 9 years ago. And it was a bit of a roadblock and a bit of a, I guess, the twist and the turn. And so what that led me down the path I was eventually was starting to help out sheep shearers online without hurting their backs, so that they could save their backs. So essentially they didn't end up in the same position as me. Problem with that is every sheep shearer in the world is in remote places. They have bugger all access to a gym. They can't come see me here in Brisbane. Quite often they don't like technology, and quite often they're, big country blokes that don't want to train at all. So it was a very extremely hard market to sort of start to get a bit of traction in. But what we did was persisted probably for about 5 or 6 years. And then all of a sudden, what happened is we probably had about maybe 10 clients consistently online. I was just focusing on our gym, growing our gym. And then all of a sudden, the pandemic came around. It hit me pretty hard. Our gym sort of went down, somewhere between 50% overnight. We lost a lot of members. And I was sort of staring at myself thinking, how am I going to feed my son? We don't know when these gyms are going to open again. I don't know if they'll ever open again. I don't know if I have any clients at the end of it. And I was sort of looking at what I could do. And the option was to go back sharing. I was like, shit, I'm going to have to go back sharing. I'm going to have to go and condition my body, because I don't want it to break down again. And what I did was I started to share that story. So I shared that story of saying, hey guys, I know a lot of you my friends out here are sharers online, and I want you to know that, hey, look, I think I'm going to have to go back sharing. I'm just going to document my journey to bulletproof my body, so that if I have to, my body's going to handle it and it can't break down. What happened was there was a decision I had to make, and that decision was, do I close down my gym? Do I be away from my son, just so that I can essentially pay and feed him to make sure that, I can keep food on the table? with this just scary thing of knowing that the pandemic was completely unknown, or do I just go all in and find a way to make it work? The great thing was I decided then and there, hey, look, if I can just figure out how to, get a few more of these sharing clients online, I'll be able to stay here in Brisbane, stay with my son and still feed him. And so essentially what I did was I started to look for a solution, and people started following me with this, and they were asking me what I was doing in regards to getting my body ready for sharing. And so I just started reaching out to them, started asking and started helping them with a few different exercises. And then all of a sudden I ran into a great little launch strategy, and it was essentially one little document, and it was an origin post. I posted that up, and essentially it had something like 300 odd people shared that post, that story, because it connected to this person so much. And I essentially had about 40 people join a trial package program right off the back of that. And that essentially launched my online business into the, it just took off completely from there. Big problem with that was I went from 0 to 100 overnight. All of a sudden I had all these clients. I didn't really necessarily have a system that would allow me to handle as many clients as I possibly could. So a few fell off, a few got some great results, a few fell off, and a lot didn't stay on long term. And I was like, all right, what's the next solution with this? And so what I decided was like, hey, look, there's something in this. I'm going to figure out how to do it. And so we started to find different systems. I started to look at all of these great online coaches and mentors and figure out exactly how I could deliver something to essentially an industry that doesn't want to exercise more. They're in the outback, so they don't necessarily like technology. They don't always have access to internet. And, it was a bit of a hard sell, but if we could make a product that was extremely easy to follow, also didn't require a lot of time from me because I still had the gym to run, I still had my son to look after, and I could deliver something that essentially scaled full time, then, we could make a go of this. And so it was really, really cool, because essentially the two problems with this is we needed something that was easy to follow and something that I could scale without taking a lot of time. And the great thing about it, it just gave me absolute confidence that, I could essentially fend for myself. Like, I know during the pandemic, like being a Kiwi at the start of it, I thought like, hey, look, we're going to have no money. There's not a lot of grants for overseas people at the start. And I was like, I'm in trouble here. But once I started to build out that, it just gave me this extreme confidence that no matter what came, I could bulletproof my business. And the cool thing about it, we've essentially 4x'd our business in the last 12 months. And a lot of that is not only the online, but adding this online component to our gym. So it's really, really cool. It's going to give me the chance to essentially expand my gym even more, give me the opportunity to, work towards paying cash for a house. And then also my son is traveling overseas next year. So the goal is to go and spend a month or two overseas if we get to obviously fly. But my business will run anywhere in the world now, which is very, very cool. So that's essentially my story. And it was really nice knowing that I'd come full circle. I didn't have to worry about my body breaking down for one, and I didn't have to worry about my business breaking because I had this model that really helped me bulletproof no matter what came. So I'm going to get into the first part, and I want you to take some notes on this because this is essentially how we've grown. We've had 120 odd people join that program this year. It's been all purely from organic marketing. I haven't run one Facebook ad, and I've all sold it all through a direct message. I've done probably two phone calls, sales calls in the last 8 months to sign people up to this program. We've had 120 clients join this program this year. So one of the things is where to find your next 1 to 100 clients, okay? And we like to use the inner circle shot clock method. What this is part one, you've got basically 4 quarters of a day. So 4 15-minute blocks. First block is you want to pick your play. So when you're trying to find your clients, you want to pick where they are and you want to pick your avatar and your niche. And one way you can do that is on your social media. Obviously, you'll have hashtags that you use. Say, for example, for me, it's West End 4101. So my local hashtags. What I will do is I'll go into there before I'm about to post and I will comment, like, share, any of the local, hashtags, and I'll make sure I engage with those. Great thing about that is you're helping out other locals, but you're also introducing yourself. You're saying, hey, look, here I am, come check out my page. It's a great way to get some expansion of your network. Part two is you want to amp up your friends. So you want to amp up people that are already on your network, and that's by sharing great value. And the way you do this is you do a set of posts where it could be a value post, where you deliver something through your Instagram or your Facebook, but it's also linked to that niche that you've just gone and targeted as well. The next part there is you want to check in with your team. So what this means is that anyone that's engaged with your content or on your stories or DM'd you, you're going to go and connect with them. So you're going to go message anyone who has liked, commented, shared, or engaged with any of your posts. And a lot of people forget this. They forget that social media is actually about being social. And so I'll give you a great example of this. I followed a coach one day, and he sent me a personalized voice message, and he said, hey, Dylan, thanks for following me, mate. I'd just like to know, like, what made you follow my page? Also, I'm just really appreciative that, some great coaches like yourself are coming to follow me. I just wanted to pop in and say hello. And I actually shared that page to 4 or 5 other people because I was like, this dude is legit. And he's like, I just want to be social on social media. And that was one of the fastest ways. And it sort of made a big click in my mind that, hey, if you're actually social on social media, you start building some great relationships and you check in with people who are engaging with you, you're actually going to do really well because it's not just someone posting, it's someone actually building a relationship and looking to help them. Then what you want to do is find new team members. Probably the biggest thing that I see that people fail when they're trying to grow their business is they don't make offers to anyone. They don't actually go and say, hey, would you like to join my program? And they don't follow people up who have engaged. So having a really great DM script or a really great strategy to engage with your DM is absolutely essential. Then you also got to network like a boss. So one of the easiest places is your local Facebook groups. And this works not only for your in-gym, but it also works for your online. So any content that you've got and you put out there, put it into your local Facebook groups. And then anyone that engages, add them as a friend on Facebook. So my Facebook page has essentially grown to about 5,000 people, and they're all basically in my niche of the sharing niche that I want. And I'm just consistently adding people to that network every single day. You also want to use your current network. So if you know anyone that is in the niche that you're targeting, so say, for example, your target market is mums, and you want to, you know a lady who owns a local kindergarten or a play group. What you want to do is see if you can connect with them and make sure that you get involved with them as well. Join communities, obviously trainers groups, and use other people's networks as much as possible. And then you also want to use your Facebook profile. So if you're not using your Facebook profile right now, your personal Facebook page to grow your business, you're absolutely missing out. This is exactly where I've grown, 120 clients since January at $59 per week, purely organic. And it's all been from using my Facebook page. Perfect, because they're already people that know you and they're people that are looking at what you do. Other concept for this is before you ask anyone to join your program, make sure you're giving 10 times more value. Keep delivering value, keep depositing value, and then people will essentially reach out to you and they'll start signing up without even trying. And it's magic once it starts to work. It does take momentum, but if you get this stuff right, we are basically everywhere and putting in the hard yards, then you'll be away. Cool. And then this is the system that solved the biggest problem for me. So when I started this, I was talking about, so I've got my gym, I've got my son, essentially, 4 days a week, I've got my young fella full care, and, he runs around. If he was here now, he'd be jumping on my head. He'd be making a real mess of this presentation. And he obviously takes a lot of time. And it also takes a lot of time to grow a gym. And it also takes a little bit of time to grow an online business. What I found out is with the system that essentially I've been using, we found out how you can build your first product with zero money, 12 hours in total, essentially 12 hours of building out this program and ready to launch in the next 28 days. And we've basically called it the Inner Circle Mamba method. And what it is a 12 to 24 week program designed to get one person, one outcome. And with this, the great thing about online is it becomes very, very simple. So I live in an inner city suburb called West End. It's quite a transient area. And so what often happens is people don't actually live in our area, but they still want to train with us. And the great thing about having this method, we're able to still have people join our program and make sure that, you know, they're still getting great results without actually having to come into our gym. And the way you set this up is with a free Facebook group. So if you go onto Facebook and create a group, what you can do is turn it into an education platform. And you can create guides on there. And with your 12 to 24 week program, you want to have a foundations program, a transition program, and an evolution program. And that will take some deeper going into, but using the free Facebook group and setting it up as a great program can be the easiest way to set up your course. Then what you want to use is a free trial of Trainerize. So Trainerize solved another problem for me. So with an online program, you don't have the ability to coach people in person with great technique. So using a platform like Trainerize, where you can essentially take a video from YouTube, you can film your own videos and you can plug it into their system. The great thing about that was any of my clients anywhere in the world could go onto the program, click play, and I'd know exactly how to do that exercise. And so the biggest problem that I found was that, you know, I'd have these great programs, but people just didn't know how to do it. They didn't know how to do the exercises. And I just get to the end of the program and they're like, dude, I've got no results from this. And it was really difficult for me, and it made me really upset. And it was really, using Trainerize made a massive, massive difference. Also, the great thing about Trainerize is it's very easy to deliver training, nutrition, and habit coaching. So on Trainerize, you can upload things like a PDF with all of your nutrition programs on there. You can also use something called Evolution Nutrition, which I've added to my business recently. The cool thing about that is what it does is it spits out basically a personalized nutrition program built by dietitians that you can plug straight into your business. And the great thing with Trainerize is it will link something like MyFitnessPal to it, and you can essentially coach someone on their compliance through to one platform, which is very, very good. The other thing I've done, and so with my program, I had to have two things. It needed to be easy to use, and it needed to take no time from me. So the other thing you want to plug into this program is 1 hour of weekly content or a group coaching call. Okay, and so the great thing about this is it takes 1 hour a week. You can essentially put in one solution to one problem that your clients get, and you can turn it into a group coaching call. All you do is hit record and then plug that into your free Facebook group. And then all of a sudden, you've got your first week of your 12 to 24 week course. And then as you're going through the program, all you need to do is record 12 videos or 12 weekly group coaching calls, and you've got a video. After that, every single week, you can do little satellite videos. So little tiny videos after that, that will just add more and more value, but take less and less time. And it's a really great system. And I probably put about 1 to 2 hours tops into my online program now. And that's mostly just from check-ins and coaching, because the program's being built and now it's just a direct outcome system. And this is one of the big systems that we teach in the Inner Circle, which is absolutely massive. What we've done with this too is really cool. When we got back into the gym, we work in an area where we've got a lot of, shift workers. We've got a lot of nurses. Quite often they couldn't make our group classes, and they were really upset, and they were like looking at going to like a 24-hour gym. And so what we realized is we had the space and we had the time where people could come in and use the gym on their own, but they also wanted great coaching. They didn't want to just be stuck, with a random program on the internet. They wanted to train like us, and they wanted the great coaching. So all we did was took this exact online model and allowed our clients who couldn't make our group coaching sessions to come into our gym at any time they like and essentially follow our programs and still get a weekly check-in or a coaching call. And we're able to make that at $59 a week, which has been a really great profit layer for us as well. And it's also helped solve the problem of people dropping off because they couldn't make our group coaching calls. So it sort of allowed us to have like an entry-level program It allowed us to have an entry-level program, which was the $59 a week hybrid model, where they got our online coaching program, plus they got access to the gym. And then we also took our in-person coaching and added our online program on top, but we gave it a specific outcome and a specific name. So when you're getting very good at the online space, you essentially have one person that you will target and you'll have one outcome, and then you'll be able to build out this great system. And so what we found in our gym is that a lot of our clients, they were getting some great results from our training, but they were missing one component. And quite often it's you know, your nutrition and your lifestyle coaching. And it was very hard to deliver in person, obviously one-to-one. But the great thing is now that we've built out this online model, all we've done was layer that on top. And we essentially created what we called the 12-week physique program. And all it was one-hour coaching call a week, plus a nutrition program and some education. So the exact same effort at this. And instead of giving our clients just the group coaching at $89 a week, we're able to upsell them into $199 per week for 1 hour extra hour of coaching throughout the week. And so we're able to get, you know, on our beta test, our first group, we got 10 people on that program. So we essentially, for that extra hour of work, we increased by $120 per member. So it was essentially $1,200 for that extra 1 hour of work a week. And the great thing about this is now we just take that program, because we've got all of these results in gym, and we can turn it into an online program as well. So it's a really great system, and it's super easy to implement. Doesn't cost you any money. All it takes is a little bit of upfront planning and get it basically ready to launch in the next 28 days. And the way we launch it is using an 8-day killer method. Okay, and so sort of going off the Kobe Bryant theme here, is it's basically an 8-step post. So the way we do it, and this is all methods that I've learned from Jimmy and the boys over time, is you start off with a set of posts. You essentially prime your Facebook and your audience with some connections so they get to know you as a person. Then you offer them some value. Okay, you give them something that will help them as soon as they either watch it, read it, or consume it within the next 5 minutes or within the next 24 hours. When you do that really well, what happens is they're like, hey, this person's helped me with something so simple. I wonder what else they've got. And then the next day you post a proof post. So you post some testimonials or some content that says, hey, look, we can actually achieve what we're setting out to achieve. Then you post another connection post, which is essentially a post that connects you to the product and why you do it. Then you give some more value. Then you do a program launch, and it's absolute fire. We basically follow the strategy all the time, and it's something that's so easy to rinse and repeat. And once you sort of plug it in, it all connects to this one program. And the great thing about it with this system and with the Mamba method is that once you've got one person through the program, you've got one outcome, and you're able to just keep recycling and keep repeating. And it doesn't take any more work after you've done it. And it's a really great system, and it works extremely well for little input and a lot of return in the long run. Sweet, guys. So that is essentially how we've built out a system that has been absolutely massive. Like it was really cool. I sent a message to Jimmy last week, and I said we'd basically made $14,000 online last week. And he asked me what the profit margins on it were, and I said it was $14,000. So every single part of this program now that it's been built out is purely profit. There's no ads run. You know, there's barely input for the coaching, and it's a very, very low input model once you've done the work up front, and it's extremely easy to deliver. And the great thing about it is that you can deliver it all on one platform, so all on the Facebook group. And it's a system that is rinse and repeat. Once it's all set up, it's very, very easy to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to open it up to any Q&A on this. So any questions on that and any takeaways you have. Cool. So if you'd like to just drop in the chat any questions on how that system works, maybe Dan, you can lead this off.
Yeah, sure thing. So Joy, thank you. You are number one. So when you say you post your content in local groups, do you mean like 2-step posts, or more of the longer blog information-based posts?
Very good question. And there's two parts to that. One, you want people to know who you are as a person. So posting the longer type post of like, hey, my name's Joy. You know, I own a local gym down the road. Here's my story. I just thought I'd introduce myself to you guys in the group. That's a great post to introduce yourself. Because if there's two ways of thinking about it. If you're the person that's gone to a dinner party, you know, everyone's come, there's heaps of friends, everyone's brought their, you know, their wine, they brought their cheeses, they brought their food. And you're the person that shows up with the Tupperware stand in the corner saying, hey, would you like to buy my Tupperware? Who are they most likely to go and talk to? Okay. And it's like, obviously, if they know you and they've invited you to show what you've got for their Tupperware posts, you know, they're going to be more likely to see you. So when you first get into a local group, go in there and just introduce yourself, maybe share a lot of your client successes. And then with your two-step post, for sure, go and say, hey, like say it's a local mums group. Hey guys, I just created a video on how local mums can do a quick core workout at home. I thought you guys would like it, you know? So it's more like going and giving heaps of value, introducing yourself, and then essentially taking from the group.
Fantastic. Next question. I'm just going to pluck a few out. Jared, what happens after 12 or 24 weeks?
Yeah, really good question, mate. And so we use what's called an ascension model. So when you get people starting to come into your program, most of the time, especially with an online program, they'll be starting at like a foundational level. And the great thing about that with an online program is like, hey, look, in the next 12 weeks, we want you to lose, let's say 6 to 12 kilos and get a really good head start with your training and nutrition. Guess what? After that, we've got some programs that are going to help you to go on to the next level. And you essentially have that ready to plug and play. So it's just about understanding where the customer is in their ambition line, where they are right now. And then once they've finished the program, it's about saying, hey, this is where we'll take you next. A really good example of that was I did a program with one of the top strength coaches in Australia. And when he sent out the first program, he's like, he explained the program in detail. He explained the outcome that you're going to get. And he's like, hey, look, just to let you know, at the end of this 12-week program, we've already got your next program ready for you, which is going to take you to this level. So it's about positioning them. Most of my clients are evergreen clients, and they find they just get so much value that they just stay on anyway. So there's a lot to it. Cool.
We'll grab a couple more. So Chris Sturgis, would you worry about people getting information overload with all the continuing resources that roll in
into the program? So one of the ways that you do this, and it takes a little bit of planning beforehand, is you have a really great onboarding system. And so one of the problems with an online program is people just don't complete it. They get overwhelmed. They don't know how to start. They sort of run out of steam before they even start, and they lose a lot of motivation. And so what you've got to do at the start is a really great onboarding video. And it's like, you get them into it. You can do it in a group call, or you can do just a pre-recorded video and be like, hey, mate, what I just want you to know is that we're taking this week by week. Here's the first week. That's all I want you to focus on. And you pre-frame everything as they go. And in terms of this Mamba method, what we actually do is we understand that people are going to make that happen first. We know that people are going to get overwhelmed. So we'll actually pre-frame it with some videos and be like, hey, mate, we understand that you're probably feeling overwhelmed now. I just want to let you know that everyone that goes through this program is probably feeling exactly the same as you, and we get that. So what we want you to understand is this is what to do first, and you just do that one step, and then basically you move on from there. So it's all about pre-framing it.
Fantastic. Lee asked, what about the costs of you putting this together, like costs in programs like Trainerize?
Yeah, so Trainerize is pretty good. So for the first 28 days, it's pretty much free. So you can get a free 28-day trial. And after that, they charge per client. So I think there's a level of like 20 clients, 50 clients. We just surpassed the 200. So now we have to go to the other level. And it's relatively cheap. Like I think for 300 clients, you're looking at about 80 cents per client to run that per month. So it's a pretty great platform, and it's relatively cheap.
Beautiful. A couple more questions before we finish up with you, mate. Jane says, do you individualize the programming or stock standard?
Yeah, really great question. And so what will happen and where people get confused with an online program is you try to fix too many problems. Okay. And so you can have one general program. And then the great thing about Trainerize is you can copy and paste and then adjust the exercises. But it's also, I would just go with one program for a start and then have a couple of side programs. And if anyone wants more individualized stuff, charge them for individual rates as well.
Fantastic. Next one, Bill Williams. If you're supplying nutrition plans written by dietitians on Trainerize, we do not have nutrition qualifications. Is that still within our scope of practice?
So the Trainerize system on the Evolution, I would check with your insurance just to be 100% sure. But the Trainerize system is obviously an American system, and they have their National Dietetics Association or whatever. And the Evolution program, that's all written by dietitians in that format. But I would always check with your local insurance and stuff like that.
Awesome. Last one, mate, if we can do this one rapid fire. Can you explain insurance on this as people work out at home? If face-to-face, we are there to ensure correct technique.
In terms of the insurance policies?
Yes.
Yeah, so once again, just check with your insurer. Ours was no different, so it was fine.
Fantastic. Well, there we have the amazing, the superb Dylan Fowler. Show your appreciation with a little bit of an air applause. Give him some feedback in the comments as well. Let him know how he did today. I thought that was absolutely stellar. And mate, that was pure and utter fire. Hey guys, we also broke Zoom. We hit 100. We're now streaming this in because there's lots of people that couldn't get in. So yeah, very, very exciting. And our next speaker is going to deliver even more gold. And that is the fantastic, the superb Jimmy Poppiano. Now, if you don't know this man, I believe he is the greatest marketer in the fitness business. And he's going to be sharing how to generate a shit ton of leads for you and your business. So let's give him a nice warm welcome. Let's clap our hands again. Welcome the great man, Jimmy Poppiano. Over to you, mate.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thank you, Dan. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me have a look. So guys, what I'm going to cover for you today is how you can build up to earning $10,000 per month with no paid ads. So why this was so important to so many fitness professionals over the last 18 months is with COVID, a lot of people's cash flow got hit pretty bad, like especially our gym owners and things like that. So what it kind of forced so many of our people to do is to go back to the core fundamentals and basics, okay, which is delivering massive value on your organic profile and being able to sell via Messenger. So guys, just before I get started, Dylan just ran like such an epic presentation. So well done, Dill. But in the chat, guys, in the comments, let me know how much you would like to add to your revenue per month at the moment. $10K would be pretty good. 1,000, 10,000, 5,000. Okay. Now, guys, the simple fact is you guys probably have every one of these amounts just sitting in your social media profiles right now, just waiting for you to extract it. Right? The fitness industry right now and the world is absolutely fucking begging for people to stand up as leaders, to show people the direction that we need to go to as a community, right? And you will all be able to get that money organically over the next, 2, 3, and 6 months, because I've seen it time and time and time again. And Dylan is really, really amazing proof of that, right? Of someone who, just a couple of years ago was like struggling like a fair bit, right? But was able to take control of this organic marketing to become a leader, right? Within his local area and also become like somewhat of an authority, right? And you guys will all be able to do the same. I have absolutely no doubt everyone on this call can do the exact same as what Dylan's done. Dylan's not special, right? He just worked incredibly hard and followed the system. So guys, I'm going to cover like just a couple of things that you need to do really, really well organically. So it all starts with like knowing who you're targeting. So your target audience, your avatar, your niche. I'm going to present you like 4 key questions that you have to know the answers to, right? To be able to target people correctly. Then we're going to cover growing your audience and then becoming an authority as well. Okay. If you're able to do these 3 things really well and be incredibly consistent, right, with following a basic framework, I have absolutely no doubt that every amount that you guys posted within the chat that everyone can hit 100%. I'm going to show you a testimonial at the end, guys. And I know this because I've seen it with my clients. And we also were able to close 7 figures organically over the last 12 months. So it was $1 million cash collected with no ads. Okay. Now let's go into like knowing your target audience. Okay. So Dylan just covered on it briefly. Now there's a little bit more of a comprehensive document that you have to run through, but I really, really love this quote at the bottom, right? Identify your niche and dominate it. And when I say dominate it, I just mean work harder than anyone else possibly could possibly work at it. Okay. And that's one of the keys with, you know, being able to do really, really well in business, guys, is being able to work a little bit harder than the person, you know, down the street or the other person within the niche. Right? Nothing will ever be given to you easy in life. And I hope that you guys have all kind of realized and seen that over the last 18 months, right? We had a lot of gym owners get everything nearly taken from them in the matter of moments. And they open their business and then they kind of like shut it, right? And I truly believe, guys, that the future of the fitness industry stand covered is I want everyone to have a really amazing gym, but I really need everyone to have an amazing online business, a little bit like what Dylan has built. Right? Because it's going to safeguard yourself, it's going to safeguard your families, and it's going to safeguard your business. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of interactive stuff here. Right. But guys, everyone on here is so educated. You guys are so talented, right? You've done really amazing courses, whether it's nutrition, whether it's training, and you've all got your own story. My story for me was when I was a kid, I was like really, really overweight, and I was able to lose about 20 kilos through just nice, sustainable health and fitness. So our niche became helping people lose weight because we were able to become like a little bit of a hero story within that. But when we cover the first question of knowing your target audience, and let me know in the chat if you know it, what's the biggest result I can help a business or your person achieve, right? What's the biggest result you can help someone achieve? If you were able to meet someone and that one thing that you could help them with, let me know in the chat, what would it be? Because this is where your passion will really lie. And it's the most important question in any type of niche targeting, right? What's the number one thing you can help people with? Let me know in the chat what it is. Mindset, love it. Confidence, love it. Overcoming mental barriers, really cool. Self-esteem is absolutely incredible. Okay, to feel happy and enjoy life. So we'll have to go a little bit deeper, okay? But you remember you want it to be as specific as possible. Okay, so within your niche, if we say, if I sit on a group call here with 100 people and I go, I help people be more confident, right? In comparison to, I help males over the age of 40 years old who have children increase their confidence that they've lost since they finished sport 5 years ago, right? Do you see how when you make your niche, you want it to be really, really precise, guys? Okay, because increasing confidence, right? And I put you guys on the spot, but that's like nothing, right? Now we've got one in there. Menopause is really good, okay? Because when you've got your age, you've got your demographic, and the deeper that you can go down within that niche and that targeting becomes more specific, and you can charge more money. Okay, for a general weight loss program, guys, online, it's about $17 to $25 a month, right? Just general weight loss. I help people lose weight. But if you start to add those layers on, and I'll show you another one, that I help business owners lose 5 kilos or more and control their diary and control their diary, right? Is see how when you start to add like the business owner element, and it would be like males over 40, is as you start to go deeper in it, guys, you can charge more money because it's more precise and you're speaking to a target audience. You don't want to get caught up, right, within within your niche of being like super generalist, of having something that you can help people with, but just being very generalized and saying you help everyone. Okay, so there's 13 questions that we run through. If anyone wants that document, just let me know and I can get Dan to post it out, because it takes probably about 20 to 30 minutes to do. Okay, I'll post it in here. Okay, the document for you guys. The 13 questions. Okay, we're just going to cover the 4 on here now, though, that are very important. Okay, so now you've got your niche and we kind of understand getting a bit more precise. Right, the next one is like, what is the problem your ideal client has and how can you fix it? So, you know, if we use the one on confidence, okay, so a couple of people here, they said like they improve confidence, they improve self-esteem and things like that. Now, if you imagine me, you guys, I'm in your target audience and I have really low self-esteem, okay? Now, what's the biggest problem that having low self-esteem, right, is how is that affecting my life and how can you fix it? Okay, because that's when you start to go really deep and you must understand your niche incredibly well. Okay, because saying you help people with low self-esteem is great, but what's the problem that gives them in their life, right? Because it's got to be something that they want to solve, okay, and something that makes a dramatic difference within their life. Okay, so that's where like I find people a lot, like Dylan was presenting a lot on his online business, right? About he does stuff with like sheep shearers. Okay, because he lived in the niche, right, for many, many years, it makes it really, really easy, right? If you're out of the niche, guys, and you're wondering like, fuck, like, how do I answer all of these questions? Like, how do I know this about people within my niche? I want you to write this down. The easiest way to find it out is to interview your clients, right? And have a really deep understanding and conversation with them, right? It's the easiest way. If I jumped on, so, you know, everyone on this call is within our niche, right? We want to help fitness business owners earn more money, right? If I wanted to understand more about wherever you guys are at, if you imagine if I spent 30 to 45 minutes with you, right, and got really deep into what the problems you are, what problems you're having, you know, what it's causing you, how can we fix it, right? You start to get really deep understanding of your niche. And I highly recommend everyone do at least 2 to 3 client interviews and ask them some like really, really deep questions on what their life was like before. Because most of the time, guys, when you pick your niche, if you've had like 20, 30 clients in your life, right, you start to just, the niche that you first started in fitness actually changes a bit over time. And if you do have your perfect clients and you have done really amazing things within their life and changed their life, is just interview 2 to 3 of them. Now, when we start to talk a little bit about content, okay, and we're going to cover, creating content that helps people. The next one, guys, is what are the 3 steps you need to act with them quickly to start seeing progress? Okay, what is like, do you know how like people, we say like, you know, say if we use the self-esteem thing, someone's like, you know, got pretty low self-esteem. In any program when you're starting, and especially with the marketing, right, if you can get people quick wins early, they start to get really attracted to your tribe. And I want you to think about maybe a coaching course or a program that you've been on in before, maybe some kind of fitness journey you've done, is if you can get those quick wins like easily with them, right, you start to really build that authority and that trust really quickly. Okay. So in the chat, guys, let's just imagine we'll do a really easy one. Okay. So everyone on here, we have your niche is helping people lose 10 kilos or more, right? In the chat, let me know what's just 2 things that if I wanted to lose 10 kilos, let me know 2 things, right, that you could teach me or help me implement quickly that starts to get me some results. Let me know in the chat. What are some things? Let's see what we got. Maybe some nutrition, portion control. Love it. Love it. So you can teach me about portion control. So 2 really good topics to post organically about to start to attack your tribe. And of course, guys, you have deeper components within your programs as well. Food and exercise log, environment, organizing time. Love it. Tracking your food and hit protein goals. Andrea, love it. Sounds a lot like my advice. Food journal, how much exercise you do. Blood test and saliva test is awesome. So it'd be like why. So in here with blood test and saliva test, right? I think it was Sylvia at that, who wrote that one? It was really, really good. Now, Nira wrote that, blood test and saliva test. Now, in that, guys, if that's one of your beliefs, okay, you need to make sure that your audience understands why. Because for the average person, they wouldn't understand, like 90% of people wouldn't understand why they need to get blood tests and saliva tests to lose weight, right? So in your content, right, if when we talk about what your content and your marketing should do, it should really bring you your perfect client, okay? It should bring those people through. So the more that you can educate them and impart your knowledge on them before they jump on a sales consultation with you or join your program, right? The actual higher quality of client you guys will have. Let me know in the chat, yes or no, whether you want really high quality clients. Let me know, go yes, if you want really high quality clients, or no, whether you want clients who are super difficult and a bit of a nightmare. And then the last one, guys, and I have put the 13 questions in there, but you know, what is the most important thing they need to fix right now to feel better? Okay, because if you can start to get into their psyche and help them earlier, like within their journey, guys, is you're going to have clients for a very, very long time. Okay. And there's all things that everyone on this call, even though we're talking to some very healthy and fit people, there's probably some things we can all do on this call to move a little bit closer to our health and fitness goals. Okay. But when you're tracking it through with knowing what is the most important thing they need to fix, right? Because usually there's just one or two things in all of our niche markets that they need to fix these couple of things to start moving forward. And these questions, guys, right? It's very easy to flick over like your niche or your avatar target. It's super easy. And I see it time and time and time again, right? If you skip over it, you won't be able to attract your perfect clients, and you won't be able to attract the right amount of clients in volume because you'll be trying to help everyone. And when you try and help everyone, you'll actually stand for nothing. Okay, so if you're able to dial this in off the documents, guys, you're going to have an absolutely incredible time over the next 3, 6, and 12 months. And there'll be times where you go back and redo it. Okay. Now let's go to growing your audience, guys. So, you know, being able to just focus on Facebook and Instagram for now, right? Until you start to earn that $10,000 per month, that's all you need. Now, I know you guys will see lots of stuff on like TikTok. I call it Tickety Talk. Spend absolute ton of time on there. For those who don't, let me know in the chat if you use TikTok. TikTok's amazing. You don't need to use TikTok, right? LinkedIn's good as well. Don't need to use LinkedIn, right? To earn that $10,000 to $20,000 per month, right now, you only need a Facebook account and an Instagram account. Okay. As you get more advanced, guys, 100%, you'll be able to use like TikTok and all that kind of stuff if you need. But right now, to get to 10K, you just need to dominate these two platforms really, really well. Just so I know I'm in the right space, let me know, does anyone in the chat, let me know if you have Facebook and Instagram. If you've got both, write both. If you've only got Facebook, write FB. If you don't have either of them, you're in the wrong place. Maybe jump off the Zoom call. All right. Now, let's dive into where to start. Okay. Because there's a lot of stuff to cover. And I just want to make it as simple as possible for you guys. Okay. So the first thing is, right, on your profiles, guys, your profile on social media, your personal Facebook and your Instagram is your business card. Okay. You need to make sure it reflects your business and brand well. Now, COVID, all that kind of stuff. Some people might hate me for saying this. Some people might love me. Do not post conspiracy theories on your social media profiles. Do not post things that segment certain parts of the audience in, mean and horrible ways that we've seen there. Don't get into arguments on social media and things like that. Your social media accounts are purely just for business, to be able to change the world, right? To help people who need help right now, right? All the kind of stuff and complaining and everything that's going on, guys, just keep that for like private groups and maybe your business coaches and your friends and family, right? I want you to really be proud. And one of the things I always say to people, right, with their social media accounts is, if you imagine, in non-COVID times, you and I are at a bar together, okay? And we're having a chat and you tell me what you do. Now, after our initial catch up at that bar, I go to Instagram. Does your Instagram truly reflect who you are as a company in your business very, very well, where it would reiterate all the great things you've just told me face to face about your business on a social media account? Because guys, in the world that we live in, that is how the world works. People go and they add you on Facebook and they search and they scroll through everything. They follow you on Instagram, or maybe they don't follow you and they just go and have a look and like check out who you are. So I can't stress like how important that is. Okay. We have lots of videos like within the Inner Circle portal, right? I'll show you a couple of things that we can pass over to you guys, which is about priming your social media accounts, like how to prime your Instagram, how to prime your Facebook and things like that, right? How to get ready. So when someone sees it, they know truly who you are. I'm just going to show you a couple of things. This is from Dylan. I thought it'd be really, really relevant because he just presented. So you'll see on here, this is Dylan's Facebook header. Okay. So really nice header, really professional image. Okay. It's not something that he just like chucked up randomly and just hoped that it worked well. Right. So he's got photos of shearers on here. So you'll see here, he's got his logo, Shear Fit, the Evolved. Okay. Strength, mobility, and fitness coaching for shearers. Go to work pain-free and shear more sheep. Okay. So if we just focus on that image, if we just focus on that one in there, guys, tell me what you have learned about Dylan and Dylan's business. And I want you to imagine you just didn't get the chance to hear Dylan talk for about 20, 30 minutes. Let me know in the chat, what do you know about Dylan from that header? If you didn't know anything about him before. What he offers, yep. Who he helps is a big one, that he helps shearers. Now, do you think someone in there, if they weren't a shearer, would want to add him as a friend randomly? No. Now, in a really, really nice way, does Dylan actually want people who aren't shearers on his account? Yes or no? Right? If all his content's to help shearers, right? What's the point of having someone on there who's a banker, right? Because you can't be everything to everyone, guys. Okay. And then here we'll have a look over Dylan's Instagram as well. Okay. So you'll see like Dylan, the Evolves, okay, strength and mindset coach, unbeatable bodies and unshakable minds, mental performance and strength coaching, the Evolve personal training. And then he's using a Linktree link, which we can cover on another presentation together. On why you use Linktree and things like that. Okay, but see here on this one, on his other main business one, okay, which is for his face-to-face business, right? See how it covers everything very, very well, very clearly and precisely what he does. Okay, and that's always the first step, guys. Okay, and you can have a look around. You can have a look at, you know, Dylan's accounts. You can have a look at mine. You can have a look at Dan's, right? And you'll be able to copy, paste, and edit it right into your business. Now, in the chat, guys, let me know just yes or no. Yes, if you're really proud of your social media accounts and the way they're set up and you've done a bit of work like this, or N, if you've got a tiny little bit of work to do to really, really sharpen them up. Now, guys, as much as it sucks to say no to things like that, do you know what the best thing is? You've guys got a fucking incredible opportunity. You've got an absolutely incredible opportunity. It's crazy. Okay. So when everything's not perfect, right? And, you know, you see Dylan doing really well and other people, guys, if you haven't done it right, tick that off, take that to the bank. That's some great news you got today, right? Because you can improve, right? When you can improve, you can get better results, which is the most important thing. Okay. Now let's go into, right, growing your audience daily. Now, guys, I've just got a really, really simple belief. If we can build you 5,000 friends on your Facebook page and 5,000 followers within your niche, right? I have absolutely no doubt that everyone on this call can have a high 6-figure or 7-figure fitness business with only those metrics. You don't need 220,000 followers and all that crazy stuff, right? 5,000 friends on Facebook, 5,000 followers within your niche. Okay. And you want to make sure that you're actively growing your audience every single day. Okay. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can grow your audience I'm not going to go into, but the basic metrics, guys, that you want to track when you're doing organically is obviously you've got your sales and your consultations and stuff to make sure your marketing's working. but I just want you to write down to track every single week how many friends and how many followers that you have within your business. By tracking that, guys, every Monday, what it will mean is that you'll want to consistently grow it. Okay, so say if you've got 1,000 friends on Facebook now, we go, cool, roger that. How do we have 1,020 next week? Okay, because if you're able to be really consistent with this over a 6 to 12 month period, guys, and you're writing the right content that attracts your audience, okay, you are able to extract a lot of sales. If you're not growing your audience, right, you start to just promote to the same people over and over and over, and that's what we call burning out. Okay, so essentially with the marketing plan that we have within the Inner Circle, about the first 10 to 15 minutes every day is actively growing your audience. Okay, guys, in the chat, just let me grab a drink. Let me know how many followers do you guys have on Instagram right now? Let me know if you know how many you have. Awesome. 1,300, 1K, beautiful, 600. Now, guys, one of the things that I want you to write down, it doesn't matter how many followers you have if you haven't said hello to all of your followers, okay? I wouldn't care if Dan said, like, I've got 10,000. My question is, actually, have you said hello to all of your followers and all of your friends on Facebook, right? I'm going to guess the answer is probably no. Right? If the answer is no, and Dylan covered it for being social on social media, there's no point having followers if you're not going to engage with them, guys. There's no point having followers if you're not going to post content that helps them. And again, if you haven't said hello to everyone, I want you to pinch yourself and go, damn it, I should have done that months ago. But I want you to know you have an incredible opportunity again, right? Because you can connect with these people. You can help these people, right? You can guide them in the right direction, which might be you. Or you might have a shearer on your Facebook page, right? Who's going to work and he's got pain and you might send him Dylan's way. Okay. But if you go and help your audience, guys, just make sure you say hello to everyone. Okay. It's as simple as saying, hey, Jenna, thanks so much connecting. I hope you get some value from my posts. Where are you based? Right? See where it goes from there. We've got like specific scripts and things like that, which will help, but just make sure you say hello to everyone. Okay. Now, guys, I'm a really, really big fan of Gary V. Okay. So just write the letter yes if you've seen one piece of Gary V's content within your life. Now, guys, Gary Vaynerchuk's a bit of a crazy dude. I definitely wouldn't want to work his crazy, crazy work hours. But the amount that Gary Vaynerchuk has helped my life with his motivational videos and, you know, the way he talks about staffing and marketing and things is absolutely incredible. Where, you know, if Gary V did reach out to me today, right, because he's given so much value, and if he had a $30,000 fitness program and if it was in the possibilities for me to afford that, right, I have absolutely no doubt I would do it in a moment. Now, the reason why people would do that, if Gary V, I want you to imagine if you know Gary V from his content, if he reached out to you with a product, right, personally, you would probably buy it. And the reason is because of this quote here: give value, give value, give value, and then ask for business. And I think people do organic marketing so wrong, right? I think they do it to actually just get business, right? And obviously, if you think about the concepts, you're like, hey, I'm not going to actually post unless it grows my business, right? But if you go into it of that mentality where you're only doing it to grow your business, right, you'll fall very, very quickly, and you'll never get the results that Dylan and other people have got. What I want you to think about with your social media accounts, and it's on the next slide, guys, is if you can make your organic profiles worth $100 or more per week, you're doing something right. And what I mean by that, guys, is that your content is so valuable, it's helping your niche so much, right, that they should have to pay $100 for it, but you're giving it away for free, right, is you're going in the right direction, right? And you will get more clients than you could ever imagine just by following those principles. Okay, people get so scared, right, of giving away their best content, right? I believe in helping people, right, before you ask. Help them, give them results in advance. Right? If you could help someone like lose 5 kilos without them ever paying you a cent from amazing content, guys, it's not just a matter of if or a matter of when, you are going to get clients from it, either maybe them coming to you or them referring like the whole fucking community because of how much you help them, right, on social media. You want to make sure that you do your organic in the right way, not just to get sales, you're doing it to actually help people. Now, guys, when we break down like becoming an authority, and what I consider an authority is someone that people will follow, someone that people really believe in, okay? Now, I just covered give more than you ask, and we break down like a couple of posts, okay? So results in advance posts, guys, are really, really important, and that's something that people can use right now today to start moving forward towards their health and fitness goals. Okay, so if we use a topic that everyone probably understands, weight loss, right? A results in advance post in terms of weight loss, guys, would be 3 things you can do today to lose 2 kilos over the next 14 days, right? And you'd map out the type of training they need to do. You'd map out some of the eating protocols they need to do. And I know a lot of people mentioned in the chat before about mindset, right? You might change their mindset on, you know, focusing long-term over short or whatever it might be, right? But something that's like really, really, really valuable that gives them results in advance. Now, guys, I really like video content. So you've really got like video content or written. I prefer video. And if you guys write this down, there's a system called StreamYard, right? That works really well where you can go live on Facebook and in your groups and stuff at the same time. I really like to give people results in advance via video, but if you don't like using video, that's okay. It's something we'll be able to teach you to get better at, is you can do written posts as well. Okay, so the results in advance posts just help people, right? They help people for free. Now we've got testimonial posts. Now, testimonial posts, guys, are so important because it actually shows that you are good at what you do. Okay, now there's a couple of different testimonials you can have. You can have like video testimonials, right? We use a system called Video Ask, if you want to write that down. Video Ask, right? Then you've also got like Google reviews and Facebook like reviews that people leave you that you can screenshot, right? You've got screenshots that people send you like, hey, Dylan, thank you so much, right? I'll show you one if someone wants to see one, like a good one from Dylan, which is in our marketing. You'll see this one in here. Everyone can see my screen. So this is a really good testimonial. Morning, bro. Sorry to forgot to reply last night. Done the exercises late last night and done again this morning and have full movement again. Right. So you'll see in here, this guy, Marshall, had like a little bit of a pinched nerve in his back. Now, what an amazing testimonial that is, right? That he's got full movement again after having a pinched nerve in his back. Okay. Now, when you're mixing results in advance, people don't believe you guys. So if you're just like helping people and you're not adding that element of social proof, people don't actually believe that you're the real deal. You can never post too many testimonials. There's a fallacy. You could post 3 of them a day, right? And you're still going to do really well, right? We give you posting strategies and stuff, but make sure in your stories every day, Instagram, Facebook, you're posting one testimonial post, right? And make sure that you're mixing it up through your posting as well. Right, then we've got 2-step posts. And guys, I know you guys would have engaged in a lot of 2-step posts, right? Business coaches of the world are probably the worst at it. We post them so much. But what a 2-step post is, guys, is where you have a valuable resource and you're getting people to raise their hand if they are interested, okay? And let me just show you one in here, right? Let me go down to Dylan's one and we'll have a look at this one here because this was an absolute firecracker, okay? So Dylan got 593 comments and 39 shares. Okay, let me know in the chat whether you'd like maybe a post like that. It's pretty impressive, right, for an organic post. I was a little bit jealous, right, because my 2 steps don't go as good as that. So if anyone ever sees a 2-step of mine on social, I want you to promise me that you'll comment, right? So I maybe get one like this. But this is just such a simple, beautiful post. And I know Dylan signed up, I think about 8 to 12 clients off this, right? I made a video on how to build an elite mindset for sharing over the next 12 weeks. Drop a brain, I think that is, below if you want me to send you the recording. Now, guys, what that 2-step does, right? If you commented on that, let me know in the chat. If you commented on that, what would you be interested in? And just have a read of it. I made a video on how to build an elite mindset for sharing over the next two weeks. What would the people who comment yes on that be interested in? What are they? would they be a shearer, right? And would they be interested in building an elite mindset? Okay, because when you do these, immediate mindset results, which Dylan's an expert in, okay, that would also be a shearer mindset for shearing, right? And then off the back of it, Dylan's able to add them as a friend if they're not a friend already, and then able to give them the resource that helps them, right? But then also as well, guys, chat to them off the back of it to see if he can maybe be of help and assistance within their life, okay? And then you've got connection posts as well, guys. So connection posts in here, I'll show you, we'll keep on Dylan's theme today, right? Connection posts just let your audience know a little bit more about you, okay? And this was such a beautiful connection post from Dylan. It was about like how long he's been in training for. So when you read this post, it's like when when 20 years of training comes together. Like my own training has been a learning experience, right? I'm not going to read the post, but when you read this, it covers a lot of Dylan's self-doubt, time constraints, that he had excuses, that he had like nagging back issues, right? And what it does is it gives the audience a reason and an ability to connect with Dylan at a higher level, okay? Those connection posts go a long way. And I want you to write this down, guys. I want you to write this down for me, okay? People buy off people they like. People buy off people they like. Don't ever, ever, ever forget that, okay? If you like someone, you're more likely to buy off them than if you think they're a dickhead, okay? So those connection posts go a really, really long way, okay? If you love your puppies, let your audience know you love your puppies. If you love your kids, sprinkle your kids in there, right? Because that likability and that connection, and there's some certain ethoses around it, guys, on how you do it correctly, but it gets your audience connected where they're like, hey, I kind of like this Dylan guy. He's a pretty nice dude, right? And they're more likely to follow your stuff. So, kids are a really good one, family, good one, your training experience, like mistakes that you've made along the way, like crazy diets you might have followed and dumb training programs you did and you got injured, right? Things that just help connect, that make them know that the person behind the keyboard, if they've never met you face to face, is a real person, okay? Usually about 1 to 2 connection posts a week, okay? Now, guys, on the posting strategy, okay, so we've got level 1, level 2, level 3, okay? So you need to finish level 1 before you go to level 2 and then level 3. So guys, just basic, 1 post a day. You set your account up on creator mode, you post on Instagram, it automatically goes to Facebook. It's called creator mode. We've got videos and documents on all this stuff. If you ever want anything, just reach out to myself or Dan, okay? And then you just want to post 3 stories per day. So you post your stories on Instagram, and when you set it up as creator mode, it goes over to Facebook as well at the same time, okay? In your stories, guys, just write this down. 1 testimonial every day, okay? Could be a screenshot, video, right? 1 thing that just show you how good you are, someone else saying it, right? 1 piece of material that gives someone results in advance. For example, it could be a written story of 3 ways to drink more water today, right? Something that just helps someone. And then you can post 1 offer a day if you wish as well, because it goes away after 24 hours, okay? Once you get that dialed in, guys, there's different levels to it, okay? So you can do 1 post a day, 3 stories and 3 reels as you go to level 2. And then when you go to level 3, it's 1 post, 3 stories, 3 reels, and 3 live videos, okay? Now, guys, everyone here can get to 10K a month just being on level 1, okay? Once you go like really deep on it and stuff like that, you can go to level 2, level 3. Let's focus on level 1 first for 90 days. And then once you knock off level 1, then we can go to the deeper levels, if that sounds cool with you guys. And guys, just reiterating my point before, guys, just make sure you build connections with the audience. There's no point having friends and followers if you've never said hello to them, right? Service your audience via Messenger. It all goes down in the DMs, right? That's where most of it goes down. So, if someone likes and comments on your post, say hello, show the love. Hey, thanks, Jimmy, so much for liking my post. I appreciate it. How's things going for you, man, in lockdown, right? Have those interactions, guys. And just remember, I just want to keep stating this. If you have friends and followers and you're not connecting with them, it means nothing, okay? for you to get all of your dreams and all of your aspirations, to growing your audience. It's producing content that actually helps them, and then just having a nice, easy conversation with them within Messenger, which we can teach you at another day. Very, very simple scripts, how to get them on sales calls and stuff like that. Now, guys, finally, what success looks like if you piece this all together. Okay, so that's my business there. We did $1 million in sales organically. I'm very, very proud to say that. Took a lot of hard work, right? But it was all organic. It was all just producing content that actually helped people. Okay. Then we got a client in here, right, who got 13 bookings organically in 24 hours, right? Pretty crazy, hey? So then in here, Dylan, 16 new members, right? You see in here all the wins from Inner Circle. Brad in here got his first sales call from our organic launch strategy. And then Dylan in here, 7 sales organic all in one day. Guys, you can do so incredibly well off organic if you're really consistent and if you go in with the right attitude of helping people, right? Off the back of it, always produce that content that helps people. Always focus on growing your audience. You guys are so smart and so fucking intelligent. And you've done so much study, right? That if you're not sharing your story and sharing what you'll learn, it's actually to the detriment of the world. Okay. And that's why I love organic, because every day you can do a post. And even if only 5 people see it, guys, you can change 5 people's day for the better and change their lives for the better. And 5 turns to 10, turns to 15, turns to 20. And one day you might run like a seminar like Dan had, where he's got 100 people on here. And I think there was 100 people on the wait list probably messaging going, Dan, you're a bloody bastard. I tried to get on. And he built this all organically, right? He got everyone on here organically. And it's absolutely incredible. So guys, I have a little bit of a time for Q&A. If anyone has any questions or anything like that on organic, I'd love to help you out as much as I can.
All right, we'll go 2 questions and then we'll pass the baton over to Brad. So Joy's in first. Well done. With growing your followers, if I am targeting women over 40, for example, would you add people who are 20 to target their parents, or call it a waste of time?
I'd probably call it a waste of time, Joy.
Good. And next one, Chris Sturgis, you got in, so you get it done. If we are using our personal profiles a lot, what's the purpose of a business profile? Good question.
Business profiles for running paid ads. So that's why you have it. So we still post. Now, guys, on your business profiles, guys, Facebook is a paid platform, right? So your business profiles get about 1% reach based on the amount of likes you have. So as hard as it is to say, posting on your business profile, 99% of the time is a complete waste of time and not many people see it. Now, we didn't cover paid ads today. I'm the biggest component of paid ads in the world. They're absolutely fucking incredible, right? And that's where your business profile comes in. So guys, I would still keep posting. What you post on your personal page, you're more than welcome to post on your business page as well. Just that the way that the reach works in Facebook, not many people see it. So you will get more leads off your personal profiles and Instagram accounts compared to your business. But I want you to make sure you have your business pages, because there'll be a day where we teach you how to run ads, because that's another amazing lead source that you can use to grow any business, not just an online face-to-face fitness business.
Beautiful, mate. Guys, give the great man some feedback. Let him know what you thought. Round of applause. Let him know what you thought in the chat. If you found it valuable, if you thought it was fire, make sure you let him know. That was absolutely incredible, my man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
I'm getting a host of messages. People are saying that they're loving the summit so far. They can't believe it's free. And we hope that we're not only delivering, we hope we're over-delivering so far. So our next speaker, you now have a product. You've got lots and lots of leads. You have a hungry audience. Now you need to convert those leads into paying clients. And our next speaker is the absolute master guru of converting prospects into clients. So let's give him a little welcome. Brad Bedford.
Thanks, Dan. Wow, Jimmy, I've been working with Jimmy for a while, and that's absolute fire. I've got literally like pages and pages of notes. So Jimmy, thank you very much, guys. Let's just give Jimmy some love once more in the group. And Dan, obviously setting this up so far, this has been absolutely awesome. So I'm not going to, I suppose, bore you with too much sales stuff today, but as we all know, most of you guys probably joined the fitness industry not looking to be a sales professional. All right, you wanted to help people, transform their lives. However, to do that, we need to be able to sell our product as well. So what I want to run you guys through today is essentially how we can make that sales process a bit more seamless and a bit more of a nicer experience, not only for us, the trainer, but also for our prospects as we go through the process. All right, so let me just share my screen with you guys. All right, you guys can see that PowerPoint presentation. We're all good, perfect. All right, perfect. So we're gonna go through, obviously, we're here for the online fitness sales section of this summit. But first of all, who am I and what I suppose got me into the industry? So obviously I've been a personal trainer, back full-time in the industry, since 2014. And I started back in commercial gyms originally. I started at Good Life and was in a position there where I got myself to, 2 trainers working underneath me, and then left Good Life and went to another commercial gym and got to a point where I had 5 personal trainers working underneath me there. And at that time, I was sort of thinking, okay, this is really good, but I'm paying so much money in rent for someone else's facility. It's time to go out and do something by myself. And that was at the end of 2016. And I joined the guys at the Body Consultants in 2017. We opened a facility around the corner from my house, which was really convenient, called the Body Consultants Jandakot. And from there, we helped those guys. Sort of my role in that business was obviously to run the Jandakot location, but I ended up being their operations manager and helping them scale from 3 facilities all the way up to 7 facilities, and also, move from a Perth-based business internationally. And we actually have a facility over in New Zealand as well, which I'm rather proud of. And then obviously in 2020, I started an online business. With the COVID lockdown, we have to make that transition. So, why am I here? What makes me relevant to speak to you guys? First of all, in the last 5 years of owning my own facility, helping the guys open 4 more locations, I've trained staff who have collectively sold more than $5 million of fitness sales. All right. So we've helped not only myself with sales, but also train people with sales, using the systems we're going to speak about today. So let's get started by, what is sales? All right. So in the chat, just let me know, what do you guys think about when you think about sales? What do you think about when you think about sales? What's the first thing that sort of comes to your head when you think about sales? Sleazy, Rusty, problem solving, Rusty, we've been working together. People are pushy, owing money, new clients, awesome. So, a lot of things people think, they're sleazy, all these sorts of things that go through people's mind in regards to, sales. However, as we now know, sales is creating change. So sales, or the sales process, is creating change. And we want people to get into a frame of mind where paying for our service or product is better than staying where they are. So let me repeat that for you. Paying for our service or product is better than staying where they are. All right. So to do this, we obviously need to have, first of all, is a sales process. Okay. Now, with the sales process, we need to start off with, how do we sell? So there's multiple ways in selling. And we've got obviously phone sales, Skype sales, Zoom, selling through Messenger, and face-to-face, as well as FaceTime. So let me know in the chat, how do you currently sell your product or services? How do you currently sell your product or services? A couple of guys here, Zoom, face-to-face, transitioning to phone, DM and phone from Dylan. Yep, phone sales, Messenger, face-to-face, awesome. So there's a whole range of different ways to sell. Now, for myself personally, I used to sell all face-to-face fitness sales in the business until I got to a point where I was actually having to drive to our multiple locations each day to close fitness sales. And it was just really time consuming. I was wasting so much time, purely driving. And at that point, we were still training our sales staff. So I was driving to locations, helping to train them and upskill them. And at that point, we moved wholly and solely to phone sales. And now we're slowly transitioning into Zoom sales as well. But we found face-to-face sales really effective. Now, let me start by saying there is no right or wrong way to sell, all right? The easiest way to sell is obviously face-to-face, because if a person gets off their bum, gets into a car and drives to your facility, they're obviously eager and keen to have a chat about you solving their problems, all right? Where phone sales, or calling someone is, I suppose, a bit less low barrier to entry, and you may not always get hold of them, they may not pick up, and things like that, all right? So you can start at face-to-face and then obviously transition through. If you're online, I definitely recommend, phone sales or Skype sales are great. Now, when we speak about change, there's 3 steps in regards to making someone or helping them change through the sales process. So let me know in the comments, what do you think the 3 steps are to get a prospect to change? What are the 3 steps we need to go through to get our prospects to change? Let me start you off. So we need to become a problem finder and solver and not a product pusher. So we need to become a problem finder and solver and not a product pusher. Awesome. Identify their pain points, acknowledge their pain. Awesome, Christine. Awesome, Nick. The second one is we need to ask the right questions at the right time. So we need to be asking our prospects the right questions at the right time. And then the third one is we need to eliminate sales pressure. We need to eliminate the sales pressure. Now, we need to eliminate the sales pressure because, as we spoke about earlier, we're all in sales. And the things that came to our mind when we spoke about sales was sleazy, car salesman, pushy. And that's what we do ourselves. So what do you think our prospect has in their mind when they think about fitness sales or sales in general? All right. So let's break this down a little bit deeper. Become a problem solver. So when we go through the consultation process with our prospect, we need to get clarity behind their concern. So clarify what's behind their concern. All right. Now with fitness sales, the concern is going to be, it may be fat loss, it may be, they want to build some muscle, it may be mobility, but what do we actually think is behind that? So in the chat, let me know, what are some questions we can ask to help get clarity on what someone's concern is? So if someone comes to you and says, hey, Nikki, I'm looking to lose 10 kilos. What would be a question we could ask to help dig a bit deeper and get a bit more clarity on their actual concern? Let me know in the chat. Why do you want to lose 10 kilos? That could be a question. Yep. Why is this important to you? What is losing 10 kilos going to do for you? Yep, perfect. What bugs you most and you feel like you can't shift? Awesome. So some great examples there. How do you see your life after losing 10 kilos? Excellent. What's preventing you from achieving this in the past? Awesome, Jake. Good. All good questions. So we want to go through is, when you say losing 10 kilos, what do you mean by that? Like, what will that allow you to do? Oh, let me go back here. Here we go. So, when you say losing 10 kilos, what do you mean by that? Like, oh, I need to get down to 10 kilos. And then we want to speak about why this is important to them. Why is losing 10 kilos important to them? Sorry, guys, my slideshow is having a breakdown. Why is losing 10 kilos important to them? Now, the reason we don't always ask why is because sometimes it's hard for them to actually put that into words. So a question we could use is, what would losing 10 kilos, what would that mean for you? What would losing 10 kilos do for you that you can't do now? So there's some good questions we can use. And then from there, we can keep digging deeper by, when you say you want better mobility, what do you mean by that? And really get specific and granular with them in regards to what they're actually looking to achieve. All right, then we go into the second one, which is asking the right questions at the right time. So when we go through about asking the right questions, a lot of the time we can get stuck in trying to sell a product and not trying to help them go through what they're actually trying to resolve, the problem they're trying to resolve. So we want to discuss and have a conversation around their concerns. So, with this is where we want to find out things such as, what are they doing right now? So, Jenny, what are we doing right now to help you get better mobility and get rid of that 10 kilos? And we're asking it in a way where we're just having a conversation with them about what they're currently doing. So we know that people are more persuasive when they tell themselves what they need to do than us being told. We've all had that person who nags at us. We all know we should eat our veggies and do this, but if you have that person that always nags at you, and if you have kids, this is probably, very relevant to you, that when you're telling your kids all the time to do something, sometimes they just don't do it. But when they have the suggestion of doing it, they do it straight away. And this is the same sort of thing. So we want our clients to come to the realization that, what they're doing currently might not be working for them. So, we can speak about their current training and nutrition and, how's that going for them? And then why are you doing it that way? What's made you do it that way? Is that working for you currently? So we're just having a discussion in regards to what they're currently doing. All right. So we need to get really good clarity on what their problem is. And then we want to have a discussion with them and find out more information in regards to what they're doing currently. From there, we want to eliminate the sales pressure. Okay, so we want this to be a process where they're going to tell themselves what they need to do, and we're going to help them through this process. So we need to ask them how they can see themselves solving the problem. All right. So some diffusing questions might be, suppose if we could help you lose that 10 kilos in the next 24 weeks, would that be something you'd be wanting to do? And who thinks people are going to say yes? Like if someone asks you that question, again, we're asking them a question, we're not telling them. Okay, so big thing is, we could help you lose 10 kilos in 16 weeks. Does that sound good? You're telling them, we can help you, compared to, what if we could help you lose 10 kilos? Would that be something that would sound good to you? Can you see how that's a completely different frame of question? And they're going to tell them, oh yeah, that definitely sounds good to me. Awesome. Why does that sound good to you? And they'll tell you all the things they've struggled with, right? If there was a way we could help you, X, Y, Z, stop eating binge food, binge eating, and get the results you're after, will that help? Oh yeah, no, if you could do that, that would definitely help. So then when you get to the pitch, you know, they've been telling themselves all the way through how your program is going to help them. All right. So now we need to speak about, you know, how, you know, and Jimmy covered it very well, and Dylan covered it as well. And we didn't really even, I suppose, speak about this as a group before we jumped on this you know, summit. But when you have one problem or one person that you're working with, this makes your sales process really easy. So let's use Dylan for an example. But if Dylan helps problems with shearers, then we know the product that he's selling and the pain points that that person comes with. So we can have a nice, clear message. Now, who here at the moment doesn't really have a niche that they're working with? Like, let me know in the comments, who doesn't have like a really specific niche for their online business? And it's okay if you don't, because, you know, the guys can send you some homework to do in regards to, you know, how to create your avatar. But when you have a really specific niche and your marketing team is working with your sales team really well, you get that, you know, congruency where the problems that you solve become the same problem. So we've heard Dylan's story. You know, Dylan helps shearers go to work pain-free. So if that's what we're talking about, when we're going through and asking these questions, we know the exact outcome that we're trying to walk our prospects through. And the struggles that they face may all be slightly different, but the end result we want to get them is exactly the same. We want them to be able to go to work pain-free, shear more sheep, and make more money. Does that make sense to everybody? Just let me know in the comment section. Now, this is where we can't be everything to everybody, like Jimmy said. We need to be, you know, really niched down. And I suppose it's a bit different to your brick and mortar, where brick and mortar, you can help everybody with, you know, or more people, you know, broader niches. But online, we need to be really specific with what we do. All right. So the next thing, I suppose, is where to now? What do we do next? All right. So the things we need to do in regards to your sales system is, first of all, decide on the system. Decide how you want to sell your fitness product. Okay. So if that's going to be face-to-face or it's going to be online, you know, through Zoom, that's completely fine, but you need to have a system. Now, we need to have a system so when you scale your business or when you grow your business, you've got a system in place so it can be replicatable and you can use the data from your system to see if what you're doing is working or not working. If one day you're doing phone sales and the next day you're doing Zoom sales and the day after you're doing face-to-face, it's going to be hard to see exactly what's working because nothing is consistent. All right. It's the same as your marketing. If you're trying to do 100 different things, it's hard to see where your leads and stuff are coming from. All right. The second thing is we need to look over your sales script. All right. Or build a sales script if you don't have one, and make sure it has these three elements. And then from there, you need to practice your sales script. So let me know in the comment section, like right now, who here practices their sales script at least once a week? Just put a yes. Now, if you don't practice your sales script, just put a no. Who doesn't practice their sales script currently? Lots of no's. There's a couple of yeses in there. Perfect. I can tell you right now, we have, like I said, we've closed over $5 million of fitness sales. You know, and Dan has, you know, closed, you know, endless amounts of sales. So is Dylan. We all have one thing in common, and the people that are the best at what they do all have this same thing in common, is they practice. So let's think of it as a new client that comes into the gym. If they squat once a week, it's going to take them a long period of time to get really good at squats. Where if they did squats 4 to 5 times a week, with the lightweight bodyweight squats, just going through the range of motion, do you think they'll get better at doing squats 5 times a week or once a week? Like, we all know the answer, right? It's definitely not going to be once a week. So we need to practice our script. So if you need someone to practice your script on, the best thing is just record it. We all have iPhones. Simply just record your script and listen to yourself back. Practice with your partner, practice with your friends. Those people that practice their sales script are going to be the ones who absolutely dominate and make the most use out of the leads they're getting through their marketing. Perfect. Hopefully you guys got some value out of that, and you can see how I suppose this is being called the new style of selling, where we're actually having a conversation with someone can be a bit better than just, trying to sell them on hype and excitement. But who here sees how that could help them increase their sales in their business? Let me know in the comments. There's hands flying up. There's people nodding their heads. I can see Nadine there nodding her head as she smiles away. Awesome, Dan. That's we've got some time for some Q&A. I've got a couple of minutes. So any questions you guys have in regards to, sales, now is your time.
Beautiful. Thank you, Brad. Let's give him some love. Let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him some love in the comments as well. I love the way Brad sells. It's just with such authenticity and such care, and just he's so genuine. And that's what I love about his sales systems and coaching. We have time for one question. All right, because I want to get you guys out of here on time, and I've got a couple of closing thoughts as well. So if you have a question, put it in. First one in there gets answered. But have you guys enjoyed today? Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed today. Give me a thumbs up if you've got some information that is going to help you grow your business. All right, let me know. Yes, yes. Love hearts, thumbs up. Excellent. I want everyone right now to put one thing, all right? I know there's probably 1,000, but put one thing in the comments that you're going to do as a result of this summit. I want to know what is the one thing. What's the next action you're going to take in the next 24 hours, all right? So Kylie, you got a bit of motivation. Excellent. All right. Rocket Rod, need to do more, contact followers, build niche market, audit, start IC, Mamba, find my niche. Excellent. Start using your personal profile. That's it. Clean up the socials, start a plan, contact followers. Excellent. Some really good practical takeaways. So I'm going to have some closing thoughts, and then I will wish you farewell for your Friday afternoon and weekend. So first and foremost, I just want to thank each and every one of you again. You gave up your scarcest resource in the world to learn, and I hope it's been everything and more for you. I've really enjoyed it myself as a student, and it's been a fantastic opportunity to learn as well as share. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got some really practical takeaways. Now, just to finish up, I'm just going to share my slides with you in one moment. And I'm going to talk about what's next, because you probably got more questions than answers right now. And we want to make sure that we give you those answers, because we've only got 2 hours. And as you can see, there's only so much time, so many things that we can fill within those 2 hours. So we have a gift. This summit itself is a gift, but we have another gift for you. If you want proven results, then it's my job to absolutely put it in front of you. And it's your job whether you decide to take it or not. And all it is a 20-minute strategy call. So we've given you a lot of information. We want to personalize that. We want to customize that. We want to give you the best possible plan so you can take this vast amount of knowledge and incorporate it into your business. So we're going to talk about for 20 minutes. It's going to be with one of our expert team. It might be Brad, might be Dylan, might be myself. And we're going to customize a plan with you. Now, if we can help you, we'll let you know. If we can't help you, we'll be completely transparent and let you know as well. So this could be the best 20 minutes you spend on your business this year. But 2 things, do not book a call. Please do not book a call unless you have these 2 things. Number one, you have immense value that you want to give to the world. All right. You want to see the world as a better place, and you want to share your gifts. And number two, you have to want this. You have to want to serve more people. You have to want to grow a thriving, successful business. Now, if that's you, I'll put the link in the chat. Click on it, book it. There's no hard sell, because that's not how we do things, but rather it's going to be about serving rather than selling. And it's going to be about giving you a great strategy, a great roadmap, so you know what the next steps are, because you've heard a lot of information today, and we just want to have real clarity around those next steps. So you'll see the link in the chat. Click on it, book a time, book a day that suits you best. But guys, that wraps us up today. So I'd love to get just some closing thoughts in the chat. What did you think of today? Is this something that you would like to see in the future? Would you like to see something like this in the future? Again, thank you, Nikki, for your kind words. Appreciate that. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Fantastic. Amazing. Absolutely fantastic. And look at this. We've done it on time as well. So I'm going to send the recording to everybody. If you want to go back and watch that, you can do so. We're going to send you some additional resources to support everything that you've learned today. But I want to thank the speakers. I want to thank Dylan. I want to thank Jimmy. I want to thank Brad. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching live. And for those watching on replay, it's been an absolute ball. I've had a hell of a time, and I hope you two have as well. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Make sure you share us on socials as well. Thank you, guys.